Elizabeth of Hungary is well known for her care for the poor. She was the queen. Her husband, Ludwig, noticed that she was taking food from the castle and going down into the village below, giving the food away to the poor. And at first, he turned a blind eye to this activity, but then he asked her to please discontinue this charity work. But she continued to do so in the morning and in the afternoon. So what she was doing is serving the poor in person, and she would accompany them in their troubles. We hear that word accompany a bit these days with Pope Francis. He says, it's wonderful to put a donation in the basket for the poor, but it's even a wonderful ministry, even greater, to accompany them, to be personal with them. And that's what Elizabeth did. Then she started to care for the sick down in the poor village. One day she was going from the castle down to the village below with a basket of food. And her husband and other nobility crossed paths with her, and he asked her to please show her what's in the basket, because if it was going to be food again, he would reprimand her. But when Queen Elizabeth opened up the cloth to show what was there, there was a miraculous vision of white roses. And so the king saw that and knew that her charity work was truly blessed by God. Ludwig went away to the Sixth Crusade and died. Then there were troubles for Elizabeth. She was driven out of the castle by those nobles who thought she was despoiling the treasury of the kingdom. And for a few years, we are told that she was without a place to stay. But she continued her work with the poor. But once she was reinstated and she had power over the resources of the kingdom, she continued to give them away. And we are told she gave everything away. And when there was no more money left, she started to give away precious objects from the castle, even some of her beautiful clothes. And upon the time of her death, she told her spiritual director, anything that is mine, when I pass away, it belongs to the poor. Even all the dresses I have, give them away, except one worn-out dress. I'll have that for my funeral. So Elizabeth was truly empowered by the Holy Spirit. She was empowered by Jesus as she received him in the Holy Eucharist to continue the work of compassion and mercy. She was not satisfied sitting in the castle and just sending servants down. She wanted to be there herself. So Elizabeth of Hungary truly inspires us to be mindful of the poor and to do what we can for them. Our parish is having a food drive for our food pantry. So many donations will make a big difference now before Thanksgiving. We want to be mindful of the poor all year round. Last Sunday, Pope Francis had lunch with many, many poor people at the Vatican. So he sat at a table with the poor from the street, the homeless. He's giving us an example to follow, to accompany the poor, to try to be personal with them whenever we can. So as we celebrate St. Elizabeth of Hungary, let us keep in mind the vision of heaven offered to us in the first reading. For our works of charity, our prayers and our sacrifices will store up treasure in heaven for us. And we seek that goal as we continue to do the work, caring for the poor, the sick, the homeless.